But there's also only so much stress you can put on a defense within a game and within a season. I mean, let's be real. I put it out on Twitter around the third quarter. It was another formula game by the Eagles. You just hoped it would be a formula win. The formula was the offense isn't very good. You slog through it. You lean on the defense. You hope you pull it out. That was the formula.
The formula for the 49ers was they continued to make the sticks move by converting on third downs, which they somehow did yesterday without Kittle after he got hurt, and without legit wide receivers. Let's be honest.
No, I agree.
Those were not legit wide receivers, yet their third down efficiency, which they were number one in during the regular season at 49.77%, they would convert. They upped that against our amazing defense.
Yeah, top 5 day.
6 of 11, 54.5% third down efficiency. Yeah. That wins games because you keep the sticks moving.
Sure.
You keep drives alive. We won the time of possession because we ended up having a back with over 100 yards, 26 carries. Saquon, 100.
Well, the Niners
yards, 106 yards. We did almost well enough to win that thing against a really just a completely decimated team. But that doesn't matter. It was almost like
they lost.
Our season ended.
I know.
Because we didn't do enough. Sorry. The coaches didn't do enough.
Well, they lost the game on offense. I think it's more about the players and the coaches. A lot of people disagree with me, and that's fine. Look, the defense should have been a little better. But I will say this, defense against a good but not great Niners offense, meaning they were without some players, they did create 2 turnovers. You know, the game was, we knew the sweet spot was going to be around 20. The sweet spot was right around 20. And the Eagles' offense couldn't get there. And it was a absolutely, yet again, lame offensive performance. By the way, I appreciated the way Jalen handled it post-game. I thought he said all the right things. He took a lot of accountability for that last play. I don't think there's much he could have done on the last play. I mean, it's a tough spot. Everyone's criticizing the play call. But 4th and 11, you're not likely to convert. Here's what he said specifically about that final play after the game.
Jalen, can you take us through the 4th down from your perspective? And Nick mentioned you took a picture. You guys took a picture and got some information. Did they come out with something different?
No. They played cover 4 structure, and I didn't make the play. I own it. I own it all.
I thought he really handled things well there.
Where is the play against cover 4? Like that coverage. It specifically covers all go and all go special. That coverage is what a defensive coordinator would dial up to stop two-jet all go special.
I understand.
So over on the sideline, they know they're expecting quarters, and that's the best play that you had in your playbook.
So the idea would be a drag route, a guy catches it at 4.
You know what you complete against? Hold on, against quarters coverage.
What?
The flats are open.
Yep.
The flats.
Catch and run.
And, maybe right in the middle of the field. Right between two safeties. But it's flat. Like, what are you doing? It's 4th and 11.
But that's what Jalen struggles with.
Come on. No. You got to stop it.
No, I'm not going to stop it. I've been telling you that for years. Let's get to the Twitter poll question of the day. It's brought to us by Armin Chevrolet. Armin has quality pre-owned vehicles from every budget. See all of Armin's entire pre-owned inventory at arminchevy.com. Together, let's drive. Armin Chevrolet. Poll question, who do you blame more for the Eagles' offensive failures, the coaches or the players? I got 3 people here. I got Hughes, Seltzer, and Ritchie telling me it's the coaches. I see it as the players. Who do you blame more, the coaches or players? You can vote at Sportsradio WIP on Twitter. I know this. Combination of coaches and players will be featured in the Bad of the Bone Award coming up in a moment. Bad of the Bone Award. Before we crank it up, I need a ruling here. James and Rhea, game or season?
Oh. That's a good question. I think it's probably game. With a I think it's
kind of a combination anyway because it's all the same stuff.
The season will bleed in, and it was it was a microcosm of the season. We saw the exact same game that Right. So, but I think it's game ultimately.
Fair enough. All right, with that said, let's do what we hate to do, the blame ball version of the Bad of the Bone Award.
I didn't know whether to go the offensive coordinator or the man who thought the offensive coordinator could handle it and stuck with him all year long. Even though he didn't stick with himself all year long when he gave up play calling. That's the part I really don't understand. I think it's Nick Sirianni's responsibility to be sure that the offensive coordinator is more than adequate, is excellent. And this season was a disaster offensively. So I will hold that on Nick. It is his offense when it's all said and done. The fact that he stood there on the sideline in a timeout with Kevin Patullo, and they came out of that huddle on the sideline with that play call against quarters coverage, it's impossible to understand. It is impossible to comprehend. I guess I'm just looking at football from a very basic perspective.
Yep.
You do what's best to win. You give your team the best chance. They did not. Okay. And it is his responsibility to do better, which means you're going to have to fire your friend.
Well, I probably will. Seltz, you doubling down and picking the other coach or going to a player?
Yeah, I agree. I think Sirianni should have been first. I think it's a right choice. Plus the penalties Richie did mention, you should put that on him too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? I think there are a lot of people who shocked Kevin Patullo lasted to number 2 here. He was awful this year. Look, I went into the season saying, guys never call plays. I'm going to give him a little rope because it's a hard thing to do. I think reps matter in anything you do, whether it's this, whether it's accounting or this, that, reps and stuff matters. At no point other than maybe 2 or 3 plays in a row in a game here or there, did we feel like this guy had any rhythm? Did it feel like the offense moved and hummed and they were, look at that play off that play and look at them. When we went face Ben Johnson, he just ran down, even the Ben Johnson this weekend, Colson, he's like, all right, this isn't working, Loveland's working, boom, Loveland. They never did that. They would call play at work to be like, well, that's out of the book, let's cross that one off, we used that one. I thought Kevin Patullo had one of the worst offensive coordinator seasons I've ever seen in my life from an Eagle. Full stop. So, yeah, Patullo.
All right, Rhea, what do you got? Blame ball.
Probably won't be popular. And I'm stealing it from you. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think there were 2 big ones left. Him and who I'll say.
So I'm going to go with him. Jennings, the wide receiver on the other team, threw a ball that had more air yards than he threw all game. He constantly was running out of the pocket, skittish. 4.8 yards per attempt is absolutely brutal. He's a $2 million quarterback, and he gave you no advantage.
I thought it was in the 50s, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it could be. I'm 40, 50 at that point.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
I was disappointed that he gave them no advantage with the weapons he had.
Including his legs.
Yeah, exactly.
That was stunning.
The whole point.
I justified all year and for a couple of years that he hasn't run as much as he used to, saying he'll do it when he needs to. And you know what? He needed to yesterday, and he didn't.
We were screaming at it from where we were watching the game. At the game, we're going, please run.
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. Well, look, I think there's a clear final one just dangling there to be had for a blame ball, and it's A.J. Brown. It's a shame it came to this because he's one of the better offensive players we've ever seen the Eagles have, for the now 4 years he's been here. He helped them get to 2 Super Bowls and win one. He probably played his last game yesterday as an Eagle, and he probably played his worst game yesterday as an Eagle. From the drops to the I'm almost there, but I'm not, which I think speaks to a certain degree of lack of explosiveness, that, it's not the same level player that when they acquired him, to the I'm not sure he's running as hard. As a matter of fact, I think he's not. I don't think he's fending off the receiver as effectively as he needs to.
It's not selling potential pass interference.
Yeah.
That first call, it should have been anyway. He didn't sell it at all. He's just whoa, ho, ho. He's not doing any of that.
AJ was a tremendous disappointment this year. There's still talent there, but it's not the talent from the past couple of years. But it could have been, if you fight through harder, he could have made plays that could have helped the Eagles advance and win. There's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no doubt they could have won. They could have advanced. And listen, there's a lot of other stuff here, guys. Not setting the Bat of the Bone Award was Jake Elliott's missed extra point was a killer. It changed the whole game. That final drive, the Eagles, if they had the extra point, they could have just kicked a field goal.
They probably need to move on from
and gone into overtime.
I think Jake needs to be gone. AJ needs to be gone. Patullo needs to be gone. Maybe more of the coaches, but those 3 are a great place to start.
Yeah, they Jake will have to. I got to think more about that, but it's 3 out of 5 years he has struggled. But let's get back to the AJ thing for a second.
Real
and then
quick on
to the
AJ
phones.
before we move on. It's not James Bradbury.
Yeah.
But I thought, like, after Bradbury, I thought that was, when you take it all into account, the effort, the drops, the sidelines, I think it's one of the worst games I've ever seen a great Eagles player play in a playoff game in my life.